Hey, beautiful, and welcome to another episode of the Manifesting Simplified podcast. I'm your host, Paulina Xenia, and today we have a really exciting topic because we're going to talk all about living in the end or living in the end state of the wish fulfilled. Often, one of the first things we learn when it comes to conscious manifestation and when we want to manifest our specific person relationship is that we need to live in the end to actually get our manifestation. And today we're going to talk about what it actually means to live in the wish fulfilled and how we should go about it, like how to live in the end when manifesting a specific person, and then how to know if you're really living in the end and your manifestation is coming even when you don't see any movement with your specific person yet. Because some questions that I often get asked is, how exactly do we get ourselves into the state? And what are some signs that we are on the right track, that we're actually going about manifesting our specific person in the right way? And then how can we make sure that we maintain this state so that we can get what we want? So today I'm not only going to give you some tangible signs for how to know that you're living in the end, because there seems to be a lot of confusion about this topic and people feel like it's a guessing game, and it just doesn't have to be that way. Not for you anyways, because now you're here and I got you. But I'm also going to give you a practical solution to get into the end state and to stay there on autopilot. Yes, maintaining the end state 24/7 without you lifting a finger. And as always, we're gonna spice things up a little bit because there's just some things that I see differently compared to the mainstream teachings. And I have never heard anyone else talk about living in the end state this way, but this is really gonna be the science-based solution for living in the end state, and this is gonna be amazing for all of you logical thinkers. Okay, so first of all, what is living in the end? Just to give you a very simple explanation, it's a state of mind or a state of consciousness that we want to occupy where what we want is already so. So in our minds, we want to experience ourselves already being the person that we want to be and having what we want to have. Basically, in our minds, we're already living in the very end in which we can imagine ourselves, our desired reality. Basically, we're always living in the end in some way or another, but often we're living in the end of something that we don't want. Often we're just creating more undesirable things and experiences for ourselves because we're dwelling on the worst case scenarios, the things that we fear and are anxious about happening. We're like playing out these scenes in our mind on a daily basis that are not even what we want. So it's essentially coming back to this question of who would you be if you were already in your desired reality right now? If you were already together with your specific person, you already had the most loving and beautiful relationship. Like, how would you be thinking, feeling, and acting on a daily basis? Now, this is where the concept of living in the end gets misunderstood by people. People think that in order to live in the end of the wish fulfilled, they need to take action in their 3D reality. And this is where I see a lot of people get stuck, where they're just spinning their wheels. Where I see most people go wrong when it comes to living in the end is that they only do conscious level stuff and try to live in the end through the conscious mind. And it's just a never-ending uphill battle if you ask me, because this is where you get into this constant rat race of doing and never quite getting there. Like, the misconception here is that they think that they need to convince themselves that they already have their specific person, and then they need to be acting as if they already have their person and doing things in the 3D reality. Like, they're having imaginary conversations with their specific person while they're sitting in their car driving to work. They're pretending that they're cooking dinner for two and putting another plate there on the table as well, even if they're home alone. They're having another pillow next to their bed and pretending that their specific person is sleeping there, or even cleaning out their closet to make space for their specific person's clothes. Sometimes I've even heard stories where somebody puts a ring on their finger and pretends that they're already engaged or married to their person, and that they're even telling their friends and family that they are already together with that person, and they don't allow themselves to flirt with or talk to anyone else. And doing all of this is first of all unnecessary to manifest your specific person, and second of all, it can feel very delusional, and this will just have your brain fight you. So now instead of having your own brain, your own mind on board with what it is that you're manifesting, it's gonna bring in circumstances, situations, and experiences into your life to show you that this is not the case. Your specific person is still not in your life. Here's the thing, this is all conscious level stuff, and as we know, the conscious mind is not responsible for manifesting our reality. Living in the end is not an action-based state, even if many people think so. It's more like a mental state that you occupy in your own mind. Because it's not the conscious mind that is manifesting your reality, it's the subconscious mind. And so in order to manifest something into the 3D reality, your subconscious mind has to believe that it's already yours, or it has to be convinced that you're already the person or the version of yourself who has that thing that you want. So essentially, your subconscious mind has to be impressed, because the reality that you create is just a result of the state of consciousness that you hold internally. So the state of consciousness that you occupy today, or basically the end state that you're living in right now, is different from that of the version of you who is already living in their desired reality. And now when I say your state of consciousness, that's basically your state of being, but it just goes so much deeper than something that you can do on a conscious level, because it's really your subconscious mind that is holding the keys here. Because your subconscious mind plays a massive role in what state you occupy or what consciousness you're projecting from, as it's just a big projector. And your reality is just a projection of your consciousness, of your dominant perceptions, your identity, how you see yourself, and your beliefs. Because you can put a lot of effort into living in the end, and you can do all of this conscious stuff and try to live in the end state, but your subconscious mind is always gonna override it. And so that's why the way that I teach living in the end is not about acting as if or being delusional or pretending that you have something that you don't have. We're not doing things on a conscious level. Instead, we decide what we want, and we know that that's gonna show up in our 3D reality through us impressing the subconscious mind with that desired reality. This is basically working with the subconscious mind and getting your own brain on board with your specific person manifestation. Because the amazing thing here is that once the subconscious mind has accepted that you're already living in your desired reality, that you already have this relationship with your specific person, then your own brain, your subconscious mind is gonna live in the end state, live in that end of the wish fulfilled 24/7 on autopilot without you lifting a finger. Without you doing any conscious stuff, without you doing any manifesting techniques or repeating any affirmations. And this is really the power of the subconscious mind. But from my perspective, the biggest reason for why people are not manifesting their specific persons is because they don't persist long enough with actually impressing the subconscious mind with what it is that they want. And so then they just never reach that end state where their subconscious mind is living in the end of the wish fulfilled and actually now attracting those experiences and that desired reality into their physical reality. They might think that they're persisting, but either they're persisting with the wrong techniques that don't take them there anyways, where they're doing all of this conscious level stuff that we just covered, or then they're still impressing their subconscious mind with their current reality that they're trying to escape, trying to get away from by just focusing on it, focusing on all of those circumstances. Because if we're constantly focusing on what's happening in our physical reality every single day and analyzing all of those things, give it so much power, and we react to what we see, feeling triggered, and then we just let our ego mind run wild. We let our ego mind be in the driver's seat of our lives, feeding us all of those doubts, fears, worries, and reasons for why it's not possible for us to get what we want. And we perceive the 3D reality as the real world and feel like it's set in stone and we just cannot change things. And we start arguing for our own limitations. We start saying why it's not possible for us to get what we want based on our current reality, based on our circumstances. This will keep us in the wrong end state, in the end state of being in lack, of not having what we want. And we're dwelling in this end state of being lonely, not having the love that we want and longing for it and kind of like feeling that we need it. And it's this state of trying to get somewhere, trying to get someone over there that is separated from us. This just creates more resistance on our manifestation journey and keeps us from living in the right end and manifesting our specific person. So if this is you right now, it's okay. I got you. We're gonna turn it around right now. Now here comes the practical solution for how to live in the end. What I want you to do is I want you to focus on impressing the subconscious mind with already having your desired reality, seeing it in your imagination every single day. Like you sit down and you go into your imagination and you allow yourself to experience that desired relationship with your specific person already now. You see the things that you would see in your mind's eye and you feel how you would feel in your body as if it's already happening right now. Because the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what is imagined, so it thinks that all of the beautiful scenes that you're seeing in your mind's eye is happening right now. It thinks that you're actually experiencing those right this second. And so you don't have to be delusional or lie to yourself in order to get your specific person. That's what often stops it from happening anyways. But what you need to understand is that what happens in the mind is what manifests into your physical reality, like as within, so without. Your imagination is real, and that is the thing that is shaping all experiences, all events, all of the situations in your physical reality. Because your physical reality is really just a reflection of what's going on in your mind. So you need to stop focusing on what's happening in your physical reality and giving it so much power, because sometimes the physical reality won't shift instantly anyways. So don't get so hung up on what is going on in your physical reality. Because things that aren't in line with your manifestation may still be happening, or you may not be able to see how something that looks really negative, looks really bad in the moment, is actually the very thing that will help you get your manifestation faster. Instead, I want you to allow yourself to go into your imagination, and I want you to imagine those scenes that imply that you already have that desired relationship with your specific person vividly. And I want you to feel it as real in your body as you do this, because your subconscious mind just pays so much more attention to what you're seeing in your mind's eye, to what you're imagining, when you're attaching those strong feelings onto what it is that you're imagining. Just allow yourself to experience those things already now in your imagination. It doesn't really matter whether you fully believe in them or not. Actually, it doesn't even matter whether you see vivid and clear images or not, as long as you just feel it as real in your body. And so then when you get out of that process, I don't want you to look around for evidence that things are changing, for evidence that your 3D reality is shifting. I don't want you to pick up your phone and be like, has my specific person reached out already? When you come out of that process, I want you to just move on with your day like nothing even happened. It's kind of like this daily mind workout. Because think about it like this, you also do some workout for your body. Maybe you love going to the gym, or if you're like me, you love going for your run. And then after you have finished with that workout, it's not like you're thinking of that workout that you just did all day long. No, you continue with your day, you move on, you do something different, like you turn your focus away from that workout, because the workout is already done. That's the same mentality that I want you to have with this process, where you go in there, you go into your imagination, you do this process, and then after you're finished, you drop the focus off of that desire. I always say, the less you think of your specific person, the better. From my personal experience, it really is enough to just do this mental process twice per day, maybe in the morning right after waking up, and in the evening right before you fall asleep. Because we really want to saturate our inner mind with what it is that we want to experience in our physical reality. In my programs, we use hypnosis for this because, from my personal experience, hypnosis is an amazing tool and it's my favorite tool actually. It's just the fastest way to impress the subconscious mind with what it is that you want. And yeah, hypnosis might feel like meditation, but it's just a deeper level of just deep relaxation. And that's really the state that we want to get into because that's when the subconscious mind is the most open and the most receptive to all of these new imprints, all of these new suggestions and new ideas. So, what I have found to be the most potent way to live in the end of the wish fulfilled is to not do any conscious level stuff in the 3D reality, but instead go into your imagination every single day, consistently for weeks through hypnosis to convince your subconscious mind that you're already this version of yourself that has this desired reality. If you find this process hard, because every time that you go into your imagination and you try to imagine those beautiful scenes of you already being together with your specific person, or just in general throughout your day, every time that you're thinking about your specific person, it just opens up this can of worms where you remember all of the bad things that happened. And maybe there's this third party that pops into your mind, and then you're trying to fight those scenes that you're seeing. Then, what I want you to do first, what I want you to do before you even start impressing the subconscious mind with that desired reality and with that desired relationship with your specific person, what I instead want you to do is stabilize your state first, regulate your nervous system so that you get out of this panic mode, this frantic, anxious, fearful state. You get out of your head and you get into your body because after that, it's going to be so much easier to have control over your mind. And that's exactly what we need for manifesting our specific person. Because we have to get out of our ego mind so that we feel more relaxed and more stable within ourselves. Because that's when we're not tripping balls in our stories, in those what if scenarios and worst case scenarios. And so the way that we then maintain this state of living in the end of the wish fulfilled is really through impressing the subconscious mind with that. Because after the subconscious mind is impressed, it will live in the end and maintain this state for you. But obviously, we also don't want to just do this process every single morning and every single evening and then just let our ego mind run wild throughout the day. We can't just do this process a couple of times per day and then for the rest of the day just feel free to let our mind spin with the negative BS that we don't want. We cannot do this process and still have the negative thoughts and all of those same negative emotional reactions related to our specific person. Because this is not you in the right state that will bring in your specific person. So if this is you, I would highly suggest that you first do my Stop the Spiral program. Because that program is a hypnosis program and it's really, really powerful to stop spinning your wheels and take control of your ego mind. It's gonna help you regulate your nervous system, coming back home into your body and into this relaxed state of being through reducing the mind chatter and releasing anxiety and worry. So I want you to see your imagination as your creative power. And this process that I just went over, that's basically you creating what it is that you actually want. And just know that it will materialize for as long as you don't continue focusing on the same old, entertaining the same old stories every single day and embodying the same emotional states in your body. Because whatever we experience within must become experienced without as well. So trust your imaginal acts and not what the physical world is telling you right now. Because this is also not anything new. All of your life, you have actually already used your conscious mind to impress the subconscious mind. It's just that you have created things that you don't want. So the point of this process is to get into this relaxed state of calmness and confidence. To me, this feels like the deep inner knowing, like I just know that it's done. I just know that my manifestation is on its way, even when I don't see any evidence yet. This is the state where nothing shakes you or breaks you anymore. Like you can look at some circumstance or some situation or experience going on, and you're not gonna make it mean anything negative. You're not gonna be like, okay, this means that I'm not gonna get my specific person. Like you're not gonna allow the 3D reality anymore to dictate what you get to have. It's not even gonna dictate how you feel anymore. It's not gonna throw you off guard. This is a sign that your subconscious mind is impressed with what it is that you want, and this is a sign that you're now living in the end. You're living in the right end where your specific person manifestation is on its way. Like when my clients tell me that they still notice that they haven't heard from their specific person and that they haven't seen any movement, but they just feel at peace. They feel like they already have them. And it's this trippy place to be in because you kind of feel like you're already together with your specific person, even if you don't have any evidence, even if that hasn't happened yet. It's kind of like you're no longer worried when it's gonna happen or how it's gonna happen. You just know deep within that it is gonna happen. And you're not trying to force a change in the 3D reality anymore. It's like you're not even interested in doing any manifesting techniques or trying to get your specific person because it already feels like you have them. And it's like you almost don't even want your specific person anymore. Like you don't even have that desire anymore. This is when you have stepped into the state of the wish fulfilled, even if it's not yet solidified in the 3D reality. And it's really the impressing of the subconscious mind, of working with the subconscious mind here, that will solidify it into this deep inner knowing that it's already done, that there's nothing more for you to do. And this will also, of course, release that pressure and release that anxiety around this situation, because you're gonna feel at peace. So on a day-to-day basis, you don't have to think of your specific person in order to manifest them into your life. After you just focus on impressing the subconscious mind with that desired relationship, then every time when you think of your specific person, like during the day when they pop into your mind, because of course they're sometimes gonna do that, you're just gonna be like, oh yeah, it's gonna happen. Oh yeah, they're already mine. So it's not about feeling the feelings of already being with your specific person 24/7. Just allow your own brain, your subconscious mind to do the heavy lifting for you, to do the work on your behalf. Because it's really less about taking any action towards what you want, and it's more about cultivating this deep inner knowing, this state that we were just talking about that feels like this relaxed, calm, confident state. Because think about it, if you already had your specific person in your life, if you already were together with them, would you be feeling these feelings of joy, excitement, happiness, bliss all the time? No, you wouldn't. It would just feel natural. You would just be enjoying your life. You would just be in the present moment with your person. And so this is the exact same thing I want you to do right now. I want you to just take your power back where you realize that you can allow yourself to enjoy your life already now instead of just focusing on doing, like doing something as a means to an end, doing all of these things in order to get your specific person. I want you to just go out there and enjoy your life and have fun with this process, knowing that your specific person will show up.